In this video, all students will be able to make an exponential equation for a word problem, day 2. I'd like to start by reviewing what each part of the equation is. This right here is our output. Okay, so that's the number that comes out. This multiplier out front, it represents the starting number in a word problem. And on the graph, it represents our y-intercept. The base is the ratio that continually repeats, so the number that it multiplies by over and over again. And x represents the number of terms, how many times you have to multiply the ratio. Okay, so that's what we had learned in our lesson yesterday. Let's see how it can look a little bit different. Number 1, the cost of producing transistors decreases by 20% every year. It currently costs $580 to produce 1 billion transistors. That sounds like a really fancy word problem. And if you're worried about the word transistors, you can cross it out and you can put in whatever word you want. The cost of producing Cheetos. The cost of producing cars. The cost of producing something decreases by 20% every year. It currently costs $580 to produce 1 billion transistors. So the point being that the word transistor, don't get hung up on it. Alright, so x. X is going to be the number of years, just to be clear. I didn't write that down. Okay, because we're talking about how much it costs to produce transistors over the years. Okay, and y would be the cost for 1 billion transistors. So right now, 0 years, okay, right now, it costs $580. Next year, that number is going to decrease by 20%. Real quick, if something decreases by 20%, what percentage remains? Like if something goes on sale for 20% off, what percent remains? If you take 20% out of something, what percent is left? Well, it's going to be 580 times what percent is left? 80%. 80% is left, so we're actually going to do 580 times 0.80. There's a point in there. I don't know if you can see it because my thing is so small. Okay, so real quick, decreasing by 20% means 80% remains. Okay, this is a little bit trickier. When something decreases by 20%, that means 80% remains. And that's why we multiplied by 0.8 or 0.80. It doesn't really matter if you use 0.8 or 0.80. So 580 times 0.8 or 0.80 is 464. 464. So after 1 year, it no longer costs $580 to produce 1 billion transistors. It only costs $464, right? So it's getting cheaper because it decreases by 20%. Okay, after the second year, we need to figure out how much it's going to cost after the second year. So I know right now it's 580. Then we had to multiply by 0.8 for the first year, 0.8 for the second year. And the resulting cost is $371.20. After the third year and the fourth year, I would like you to pause this video and figure out how much it costs for the third and fourth year. You can use a calculator, you can do it by hand, or you can even use Google as a calculator by just typing in the problem. I want you to pause this video and I want you to finish up this chart. So these are the answers that you should have gotten for years 3 and 4. $296.96 and $237.57. I want to make sure that you have 57 cents right here because you need to make sure that you rounded correctly. It's not 56 cents, it's 57 cents. Okay, so you'll notice that we always started with the 580, the starting 580, and then we multiplied it by 0.8, however many years have gone by. So in the first case, it was only 1 year had gone by. In the second case, we had to multiply by 0.8 2 times, so it's like an exponent of 2. 580 times 0.8 3 times. It's the same exact type of equation as we had yesterday. The only difference here is because our price or our ratio was bringing down the numbers, we had to find out what percent remains. Okay, so we didn't use 0.2 for 20%. We had to figure out how much remains. We had to use 0.8. So y equals the 580 that we start with times 0.8 or 0.80 to the x power, however many years have gone by. So for number 2, I'm going to read it. I would like you to pause this video. I'd like you to try it on your own and then check your answers. Number 2. The community theater in Lakewood has been seeing a 5% drop in attendance every year. If they sold 31,000 tickets this year, what equation would represent the number of tickets sold in any given year? I would like you to pause this video, and I'd like you to try and write an equation for this. We're talking about the number of people who go to the theater, and unfortunately, this theater has seen that every year attendance drops by 5%. I don't want you to forget all the things that we learned in this problem. Use this problem as a guide for number 2. Please pause this video now. The equation for number 2 is y equals 31,000 times 0.95 to the x power. Doesn't matter if you have the comma in your 31,000, but it does matter that you have 0.95 instead of 0.05 or 0.5. That would be even a worse mistake. 0.95. If we see a 5% drop, that means that 95% of the attendance is still good. Okay, so we're going to use a decimal, and it's going to be 0.95 so we can find out how many people are still going after every year. Thanks, honey bunnies.